Not sure whether you have seen my video of Singapore, but I have had this habit of filming places relating to books wherever I go since, I don't know, 2 years ago. So I have all this collection of videos of places that are related to books. And to be honest, when it comes to places related to books, Shenzhen is the most unlikely place that I would relate to. Last week, it was my birthday, and thanks to my friend Joey, who's so sweet, who planned a trip specifically for me, we went to Shenzhen for one whole day. And I'm not sure whether it is intentional or what, but the trip ended up having this theme of books. Some of these places are so unique that I have never heard of it before. And the best part, it's not just bookstore. The best part is it's not just bookstores, it's places that I have never heard of. So this video is going to show you what happened during that trip and the places that are related to books during that trip. So first we start off with a book cafe. And to be honest, we didn't plan anything at all because we just went into a mall, planning to have lunch, and somehow it's like the attraction or the universe want me to see it. My eyes focused on a shop, and when I went in, I realized it was a book cafe. Book. So the second stop would be the book city. So speaking of book cities, there are a lot of different book cities in Shenzhen, or I think around mainland China. But then I specifically went to this because to Joey it was her childhood, and to a lot of Hong Kong people that specific book city, the Shenzhen book city, was kind of their childhood. The place where they actually buy books and read when they were little. There are two levels for the main area where books are being sold, and the video just now showed you the top layer. For me, I don't think that that area is visually satisfying, and to be honest, when I went in, I feel like I was in a maze where a lot of things are in a mess, even though there are signs telling you which book belongs to which area. So that was one thing, and the second thing would be there are a lot of people sitting on the ground reading. To be honest, I don't think it would be a problem if the area, the alley or whatever you call it, between shelf to shelf is large. But when it's very narrow and people are actually sitting on the ground, it's very hard for me to pass through when I'm trying to look for a book or moving from shelf to shelf. Especially for the comics area, there are a lot of kids sitting down on the ground, reading. When I try to look for whether there are graphic novels that I like, I couldn't even get into the middle of the shelf because the kids are blocking it away and they're not moving when people are trying to get through. So that's kind of my main problem towards Book City. However, it's not all bad things. There are some good when I visited there. When I went to the second level of this bookstore, my eyes immediately sparkled when I saw the Harry Potter section. And yes, one of the best things about shopping at bookstores in mainland China is that there are always Chinese translations for famous English books, which is a good thing, because especially good for my students, because one of the thing that has taken them back from reading English books is because they don't understand the words and they don't want to try it. And they feel very troublesome when they need to check the dictionary. So, with there are Chinese translated version provided for them, and some books are even better where they have the English version and the Chinese version side by side. If they have this, I do believe that they will have more motivation to read English books. Yes, in some way. But for me, the best thing about this section is this. the original English version is a hardback. Of course, this is not hardback, but I mean, I have always wanted to own this, even though I already have the Harry Potter book 1, but I really want to have the, you know, the version where there are a lot of graphics and drawings in it, and it costs around 300 Hong Kong dollars or even more to buy the original English version. But then when I went there and I saw this, I knew I had to get one. Like, no matter for me, like just to look at the graphics, or you know, for teaching in the future. If you look at this is in fact a Chinese translated version. It doesn't matter because I already have the English version. I can like print the English version and also give them the Chinese version as well, like side by side, so they can, you know, read Harry Potter, like, finally. And yes, this is the, you know, one thing that made me really happy about this. Size books. What you just saw are what we call the pocket books, the pocket versions of books. And to be honest, like, I am a huge fan of pocket versions of books. Like for Chinese or Japanese books, they already have pocket versions like these. Like if you look closely, they are pocket versions. Like if you have followed my publishing process of my first book, Under Her Cursed Scythe, you will know that I have produced a pocket version of my book as well, you know, but these are limited. You can contact me directly if you're interested in the pocket version. But then, yes, I have sent out to some reviewers to review on whether it is okay to have a pocket version, like what they think about it. So normally pocket versions like nowadays are like these. However, like I have seen this, I think it was invented by the Netherlands, one of the organizations in Netherlands. I think one of my colleagues tagged me on a Facebook post about these pocket versions. So what is so special about these pocket versions is instead of having these, like, you know, the words are reading like small and they're reading like page to page, their pocket versions are in fact using the concept of strolling down your phone, because these are what, you know, kids are doing that nowadays. So if you look at this, as you can see, the words are here. It's not too small in comparison to my book or, you know, the Japanese or Cantonese version. So nowadays they do that. You can print a lot of, you can print the words larger as well, and then you read it from top to the bottom like this, and you flip it like this. So your books are no longer flipping like this, but you're flipping like this, like from top to the bottom, or the bottom to the top. So I have seen this in Netherlands. I have never thought of finding them in bookstores in mainland China yet, because, you know, this so-called invention is still quite new. Only a few English books had this kind of version. So if you look at this, the book cover doesn't link to this. It's like this. Yep, and you have to close like this. So, but at the back, you don't have the same effect. It's like a normal book. So this is really interesting because I've never expected to find this in a bookstore in mainland China, and that's kind of a surprise for me during this trip. When you're speaking of places where you can eat and read books at the same time, or, you know, inside a restaurant there are, you know, books available for you to grab and read, I think like mostly you can relate are cafes, right? But little did I expected that if you go into the Pizza Hut of Book City, you can in fact find bookshelves available and people will actually read books while eating pizza. After walking around the Book City for a while, we felt tired and we decided to find a place where we can sit down and have a drink. So if you have come to mainland China before, or like in Hong Kong, where we're looking for good places for non-alcoholic drinks, for example, like fruit tea, tea with pearls, bubble tea, stuff like this, people always recommend you to Hey Tea, which is one of the biggest chain stores in mainland China that sells non-alcoholic drinks. And if you have seen their shops in Hong Kong, you will see a lot of people kind of line up for their tea all the time. Similar for mainland China, even though they have a lot of stores around mainland China already. So it's a really good place, and there's exactly one inside the Book City. So while we had a drink there, I decided to read some of the books that I have bought. the new things I have encountered during this trip that is related to books would be the book bars. Like, I'm not sure, perhaps I'm someone who's very shallow in a way. I have never heard of book bars, at least in Hong Kong, or seen one in countries that I visited. And I was a bit like skeptical. I thought, is it a place where they sell alcoholic drinks while people read there? The feeling is a bit interesting. Whether perhaps you are doing so-called very active, entertaining things, but then you're doing, something that looks very serious and calm at the same time. So that's what I have towards book bar is, actually having a bartenders making alcoholic drinks, and then you were reading there. I mean, I do have friends who read at, bars, but I mean, it's not common, and I have never heard of a actual bar that has books, but at the same time it sells alcoholic drinks at the same time. Like, the main purpose is for you to read while having alcoholic drinks. Like, I have never heard of that, and that's what I had in mind until I actually visited 2 of them in Book City. Okay, that was totally out of my expectation. It was totally different from what I had in mind. Like, at that point, I just feel like it's the same thing as a normal book cafe. There was no a bar in it at all. Perhaps there's a different meaning for the word bar than what I have in mind. But yeah, that was that. But it was not totally disappointing for me because I did find a specific area that I really like. It's a very good environment for reading, and that's it. That was pretty much it, and before I knew it, it was already nighttime, and I just want to thank my friend Joey again for making this birthday trip great, because without her planning, I would never experience so much things about books when I was in Shenzhen, because I think you have seen my previous vlog at Shenzhen. That was a different kind of vlog. Like, for that, it's mostly about food, like having fun, but this time I have a new perspective towards Shenzhen which is related to books. Like, even though I must say the Book City for the top level, as I've mentioned, it was a bit messy, but you can see the environment of people reading. Like, the willingness of people to read there is quite high because they have a lot of facilities, there are a lot of places for them to read, and the whole environment, I believe, is very encouraging, encourage people to read more. And this makes me happy, like, because Shenzhen is so close, I would definitely go back there again. Probably we go to other book cities in Shenzhen. But yeah, it was a really great trip, and I just want to share with you guys. So, I mean, if you do go to Shenzhen one day, you can go check out these, areas. So yeah, I guess that's it. Hope you like this video. Remember to subscribe if you like it, and give a big thumbs up. And yeah, let's end this video by saying, remember to stop existing, start living, and be alive. Bye!